Good evening, parents. I want to thank you for setting aside the time to look at this video. Many of you remember back when we had the orientations on Thursday night that you came into the school and kids were dropped off into their classrooms and the parents went to talk about the handbook and all the things in their folder. Well, because of the pandemic, we have changed that up a bit. If you haven't noticed, I wanted to first to tell you thank you for allowing us to have your children for this year, the school year of 2021. And we are so excited and we are so blessed to have them. And we look forward to a fun and a very enjoyable year with them here at First Lutheran Preschool. So that's on behalf of myself, Mrs. Judy, my assistant, Miss Sonia. Then there is Miss Amanda in the 3-year-old class and Miss Laura in the 3-year-old class. So tonight I'm going to go over the two handbooks, and hopefully you've had a chance to look them over, and it would be a little helpful when you watch this video to see what we're discussing. The first thing that we're going to talk about tonight is the First Lutheran Church Preschool Pandemic Safety Plan of August 2020. And then we will go to the other handbook that is our ABCs of preschool. And a lot of things in the ABCs we've kept the same, but other things on there, it has a little thing on the top that says to see the pandemic safety plan. So let us begin here with the First Lutheran Church Preschool Pandemic. And I'm not going to read every bit of it. I'm going to touch on several things in each section. And this gives you an opportunity to write down some questions or concerns that you will have when we meet again next week for the Zoom meetings. Now, those Zoom meetings, Miss Amanda and myself will send out times for the classes, and hopefully you can make the times that we have set aside for the Zoom meetings. If not, we can work something else out with according to your situation. The first thing we have is the arrival and dismissal. And if you've read over this, you will see that we're going to have the kids separated in the morning for the arrivals, and in the afternoon, they have no afternoon class with Miss Amanda's class, so that's just by themselves, but they'll still be at a different part of the school to come in. Miss Amanda's class will be dropped off at the circle driveway over by the east side of the school. And Miss Judy and Miss Sonia's class will be the south side where the kitchen is, down that hall. And when we have that so that we can contain kids from getting too congested in the little coffee area like we used to when before the pandemic. So anyhow, the children will be dropped off and we will come to the car to get them. We will have their temperatures checked, and we will also, when they come in, sanitize their hands, and they will have a face covering, and we will take them to the little cubbies to put their little book bags and their coats or whatever they have to put in their cubbies, and then they will go into the classroom. Now, we do know that it's going to be hard for some of the parents because there's the separation anxiety with the children. So for the first couple of weeks, if you note here for the students, it says for the first couple of weeks, the school year, a parent may accompany a child who is having separation anxiety into the common areas of the church. The parent will also have their temperature checked and will be required to wear a mask. So I want you to know that we are not just going to come get the kids out of the car, put the mask on and bring them in. It's going to be a transition for everybody. So we do have some common areas at the church set aside just for that reason in the first few weeks. Now, same thing with dismissal. We will take the kids to the places that you dropped them off, and we will find you in the car and take each child to the car. So I wanted to be sure that you've kind of look that over. That's going to be a new change that we have that's different than last year. Second page, excuse me, on page 6, we deal with face coverings. And all staff and students are required to wear a mask. And we have plenty of masks on hand. We've got cute ones with dinosaurs and little fun pictures. And then our lady, Miss Nadley, who is in charge of the music ministry, she is making us some masks that are clear so that the kids can see smiles. She's making them for the teachers and for ourselves and for your children. You're welcome to bring your mask from home. That's not a problem. We will have them be sure that they are marked with their name. And the laundering of the reusable face coverings is the responsibility of each student's family. So just to know, when they go home and you launder them, be sure to bring them back. If for some reason you forget, we do have extra masks, and we've got quite a supply just for that situation. Hand washing. We will be constantly using our hand washing techniques and our sanitizing procedures. We will have sanitizers placed all through the church and in our classroom. We will show them the correct way of hand washing. And when they come in, of course, I mentioned that they will have their hands sanitized by us. And when they leave, we'll also have their hands sanitized too. Snacks this year will be a little bit different. We will still have the people bringing the snacks for the week, or Miss Amanda's class, I think it's just one day or whatever. But we are not going to have the snacks be given out each day. On one day of the week for Miss Amanda's classes, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, she'll pick a day, or Tuesday, Thursday, she'll pick a day, they will sit and have their snack. That is an important part of the socialization of the children, and just they love the part of the snack time. So, and then the second time that with their snack, they will bring it home. Again, in my class, in Miss Sonia's class, we have 3 days. So on one day, they will eat the snack in our classroom, and the other 2 days it will be taken home. This will help contain with the times of taking the masks off and touching their face, touching their hands. We know how kids like, with their food and things. So we're trying to keep things as sanitized and clean as possible. And this, we have decided when they put this handbook together that was a good way to do it. Again, getting back to, like I said, they'll be taking mask breaks. So at a snack time, that's a mask break. We may just have them turn around, pull the mask off for a few seconds, take a little break with it, and put it back on. So that's something I wanted to share with you too, that there will be mask breaks. And when they go outside, they won't be wearing their masks when they're outside, because they'll have their social distance, and this way will be another way to have their mask break. The water fountains are not going to be turned on due to the fact of the COVID virus. Each student is asked to bring their own water bottle with their name on and filled with water. We do have, we're going to have the water bottles with them, and they'll be able to have their water breaks. If the parents of my class remember, in the supply list, we asked if you could bring some bottles to donate some bottles of water for this reason. And Miss Amanda's class too, if you would like to donate some bottles, we've got plenty of room to store them for that case. But it's very important we keep the kids hydrated, but they cannot use the water fountains. So we are going to just limit that to all bottled water and their water coming from home. Student supplies. Each student will have their own little box of supplies in their room. Now, Miss Amanda's class has never done this before. Our pre-K class, the last several years, we make them their little box. And inside their box is their scissors, there are their glue sticks, their pencils. They have a little reading ruler that they follow with the words and the sight words. And a pencil sharp, not a pencil sharp, an eraser, and any other things that we may give them during the year for writing purposes or just the learning purposes will go in that box. And we will sanitize those at the end of the day, leave them open, close them when they're all dried, so everything will be taken care of with the children's names on those boxes, and there will be no sharing of the materials. We have the student cubbies, which are nothing's really changed in that other than they'll put their clothes, their coats in there, their backpacks, and we will sanitize those between each session to make sure that they stay clean and sanitized. Field trips are on hold until these health restrictions are lifted. That was a hard thing because the kids love the field trips. That's part of being in the pre-K program, but because of the bus and the tight quarters, we cannot do that. But we do have lots of fun things planned that we can do inside the building, little crafts and things that bring them from the outside in, and we'll be making some fun stuff in pre-K. And I know Miss Amanda has the same thing planned for her kids. Chapel time. Pastor Rick and Pastor Michelle will still be doing chapel, but instead of all of us 2 classes going together, Miss Amanda's along with our pre-K class, we will have them separate, and Pastor Michelle and Pastor Rick will come into each of the classrooms and do chapel time with the children, and the times are there. We will be communicating with you through email and through maybe some Zooms during the year. But one of the most important things we want to do before the first part of the year is to get everyone set up on the Seesaw app. Now, the last 2 months of this year, last year's school year, we did the Seesaw, and it was a wonderful program. The kids loved doing it. They enjoyed the time to do the projects, and we're hoping by having this, in case for some reason, and that again, I'm praying for the best, but in case for some reason we have to shut down for a week or 2, we will still be able to have virtual learning through the Seesaw app, and you'd be all ready to go on that. And even during the year, even if we are still in the school building and one-on-one teaching, that app is a great app. I love to send out little stories and things on there, so it's a good thing to have anyhow. We're going to practice social distancing when the preschool is open. We're going to divide the classes into smaller groups on like each side of the classroom. Plus, we are also able to use some of the Sunday school rooms, which will be a big help when we do projects that require kids to be together. We can space them out, and still they can have their time with their friends. We are going to be placing marks and cues throughout the classroom and in the hallway, so when kids are standing, there's that social distancing that they're doing. Open house and orientation. Well, we're doing it right now, and then the open house will be in the week of I believe it's the 31st of August, and then it starts the first part of September. We will have time set where you can sign up to come in, and we're going to limit it, I believe, to 3 to 4 families, and a family includes mom, dad, and the student. You'll come in and get to see the room, meet the teachers, and then we will have your folder with all the material that you need to sign. There's permission forms, there's the health form, all that. We will give that to you at that night, and that'll be a great time to get together and see the children. So that is something that you'll be getting messages for signing up on that. After we do the handbooks tonight and all the orientation things, next week we will have Miss Amanda and myself. We will have 2 Zooms each teacher, and we will have the parents. We will invite all you parents to be on one of the Zooms, and we will talk about more in detail on what we do in our class. So I'll have a Zoom for the morning class, and then I'll have a Zoom for my afternoon class in the pre-K, and we will talk more about the things that we do in our class. And then Miss Amanda will have one for her Monday, Wednesday class and her Tuesday, Thursday class. So look for that first part of next week. We're going to get several Zooms set up so we can have a little discussion about what we're talking about tonight, and also what we do in our classrooms. So as you look over this handbook and things, write down questions, concerns, so that next week we can address them and work on them together. Okay, now the next thing is medical accommodations, and that will be if a child cannot wear a mask. And if they cannot wear a mask due to a medical condition, we will need to have some documentation from the doctor, physician, on the reason that they cannot wear the mask. And of course, all this information is kept confidential. And then page 9, recess. Recess, we're still having recess. We're still going to be playing and having fun. And the only difference is we cannot do it with both classes. We cannot have my morning class with Miss Amanda's morning classes, or anything with a big group. So we have got a schedule figured out where we're going to have the kids play on the playground, one of our classes. Then the next day we'll do some fun games in the grassy area, and then clean everything off the playground and disinfect it, and then switch again. And we're going to be very creative in what we're doing this coming year. And so many great ideas on the internet, on play, daily play for children. So many great ideas with how to make social distancing fun, how to make mask wearing fun. So I'm really excited. And again, we want to be sure to have you encourage your child on wearing the mask, because it is a requirement, and all of us will be wearing them, and we will make it fun. And we do understand that if, we'll work with your child. If they get tired with the mask, we will work with them and just talk to them about the, way to wear a mask and fun things, why we have a mask. So please be aware of that. Now, the other part of this pandemic handbook that we put together, it has the protocols on page, I believe there's page 10, 11, and 12. And those are protocols on if sickness at the beginning, protocol for a sick child during the preschool session, and then protocol for one or more cases, what we've done. This has taken a lot of thought and a lot of time to put this together, because our first and foremost is the safety of your children, safety of our staff, safety of everyone involved. And that is why we had this pandemic handbook put together. Now, if you notice on the protocol for the sick child, on the one last line, it says staff members will sanitize the isolation room. Well, we have one of the rooms in front of the pre-K room is just basically been used for storage. We are going to move the storage out and make a little cot in there for when children do come down with some kind of sickness. And it'll be their little isolation room, but they will not be alone because the door opens into my classroom. And the wonderful thing about that is where I will be having our new circle time, the child that will be in that room, the door will be open. They will see our room, but yet they will be isolated from that class. So I just wanted to let you know that when you hear the word isolation room, it's kind of one of those terms you think, oh my goodness, isolation room. No, they will not be by themselves. They will feel secure with one of us by the door with them, but they'll be away from the other class. So I just wanted to kind of touch base with you on that. And then again, if you would read the protocols for the one or more confirmed cases, when they're immediate household member or a staff member, what we're going to do, when you have someone that has traveled. So there's a lot of information to read and to look for, and we will always be using this as long as the pandemic is around with us. Anyhow, that will take care of the first the pandemic safety plan. And now I know this is a lot of information, and I just wanted to just be able to just kind of touch base with you and let you know things that how we'll be working with things. And let's see, and just kind of touch base on everything that we have discussed on putting this plan together. Let's see. I know again that this is all overwhelming and right now, but as we work through this together, we are going to become really familiar with this and these new routines. We want to again, we can't stress enough how much we want to make everyone safe here. Children, parents, teachers, office staff. And by working together, we will make our preschool as safe as possible. Now, I'm going to just kind of skim over the handbook. Many of you have had this handbook from last year. Many of you have had it maybe a few years back with older siblings. But what I just want to touch base with this is you have the preschool sessions with the doors being open. The only difference is where you'll be entering with the doors. Again, Miss Amanda's class, the east circle driveway. Miss Judy's class, the south parking lot. We'll bring the children in from there. Arrivals and departures, the Smart Care, we will be using the Smart Care again this year. And we will bring it out to you to put your code in and show your phone. And we'll take care of all that. We're working on some way of hands-free signing in. Because if you remember last year, you had to actually push in to the child, to touch the screen. Well, we're looking to work where you just use your phone and we'll work from there without having to touch it and clean every time. So that I wanted to talk to you about. Again, if children are not feeling good, please leave them home, and like you would do in the past. Cancellations in the event. Now we're talking storm related, and I hope we have a good winter and no snow and no ice storms and that we can continue to have in class with the kids. But if for some reason we do have a storm related cancellation, it is if there's a 1 hour late start, preschool will be as usual. We'll still go start at the same time and that. If it's a 2 hour late start from Kearney Public School, we will not have preschool in the morning, or we will not, and we also will not have it in the afternoon for pre-K. If they're closed because of bad weather, we are closed. And I usually go on the weather threat app, and it will scroll across the bottom of your screen so you will see. We'll also send you a quick email saying there's no school. Again, the Facebook page. I know Miss Amanda has a Facebook page, 3 and 4 year old preschool, and I have the preschool. It's called First Lutheran Preschool, and that is our preschool page that we have at the school for pre-K. And then I also put things on, so you will be informed when storm cancellations. Dismissal, again, see pandemic handbook. Emergencies, the handbook kind of covered that. Field trips, we left that in there because we're hoping maybe we can have a field trip towards the end of the school year next year, or maybe sooner. But we just, right now, they are on hold. Let's see here. We do follow the KPS schedule with days off, and you'll see that in your folder when we have our days off. They're usually the same days off that KPS has, and we try to follow that as best as we can. Let's see, and then we talked about the illnesses and labeling. When you bring their backpacks, please be sure the backpacks are labeled, and there's always, we need a change of clothes in case there's an accident or a spill, and make sure that those are labeled too, and kind of check to make sure you always refill the bag with the clothes if there's some soiled ones sent home. And then we go to I'm trying to think. There'll be a lot of little release forms for in the folder that you'll receive at the little open houses at the end of the month. We will have oh, we do have a $40 credit if you refer a parent to First Lutheran and they register their child. You'll get a $40 discount on your tuition. And I want to let you know our tuition. I think I touched on that earlier, but the tuition is $115 for the pre-K, and it is $90 for the 3-year-old program. So you can get some credit on that if you bring a family in and they register their children. Right now we have Miss Amanda's class totally full. We have 5 openings in our afternoon pre-K. So if you know of somebody looking for the pre-K in the afternoon, please send them our way. Candy at the office. We got the office phone number in that handbook for you. That would be wonderful. Supplies, you were all furnished with a supply list. And I know during this time it's hard to get some of those cleaners, and believe me, we understand it. If you do come across those cleaners, we'd be very happy to get some. Let's see, snacks. See pandemic handbook. We cannot have snacks that are homemade. They have to be prepackaged, and we will have you bring them the week before your child is that snack helper or star student, and that way they can sit for a while and be good and be good for the kids for the following week. Then tuition, I've covered that. You can pay online through the Smart Care app, and that's a really a nice convenience for parents. You can send a check for the payment, however you want to do it, but there is a late charge of $20 if you're past I believe it's the 20th of the month. Yes, 20th of the month. Uh, Vaccinations. When we talk more next week on the folder, we need vaccination forms from all the kids, along with their health forms that you will fill out and send back. Now, my parents in pre-K, if you already have your vaccinations forms that were for Miss Amanda's class, I have your forms. If your children have not had any new vaccinations, I will just put that in their file and date it for the date here. If they do have had some new vaccinations since Miss Amanda's class last year, I'll need a new one. But that'll save you some footwork in that trying to track down the vaccination records. So if my pre-K parents, I have some of yours, and if nothing has changed, I will keep them the way that Miss Amanda sent the files over to me. And I think that covers just about everything here. Again, I just wanted to talk to everybody tonight, say hello, say we've missed you guys over the summer. We were kind of sad to have the whole last year just kind of be virtual, but we had to do what we had to do. But again, thank you for this time. I tried to keep it pretty low. I'm looking here; it's almost a half hour. So I'm going to end tonight to thank you again and to let you know that we're all praying that this pandemic passes us and things can go back to the normal that we remember. Can't wait to see you guys, and please look forward to some emails and some Zoom invitations next week. And until then, God bless you all, and have a good evening. Thank you.